Hello and welcome back to the podcast. In this Tactical Thursday episode, we are going to be talking about the 3 benefits of having an informational interview. And this is something that Dr. Hall knows quite a bit about because each and every High Point University student who is taking a level 2000 class has to do how many a semester?
Well, for every 2000 level business class that they take, they have to do 1 informational interview. And so they end up doing about close to a dozen by the time that they're done with their Bachelor's of Business Administration at High Point University.
Okay, so you're the one who came up with this list, so I'm just going to let you take over.
Okay. Well, an informational interview is different than a traditional interview because you are talking to someone about what it's like to do their job so that you can explore your career. And that is the first benefit that we're talking about. So career exploration. You know, when you're young, think back when you're young, some of you are still college students, and you don't know exactly what you want to do in your life. In that case, you want to take a big handful of spaghetti and chunk it at the wall and just see what sticks. And that is what I would say to a student who might complain, saying like, you know, we got to do one of these for every class. Why do we got to do so many? Well, because you need to throw a lot of spaghetti noodles against the wall. And so career exploration is the main benefit, okay? The second benefit would be professional development, because as you have these conversations with individuals who are further along in their career, you're going to learn some valuable things about what types of soft skills and what types of hard skills you need to develop if this is the profession that you want to go. You also get some great mentorship because you're going to encounter detours and obstacles along the way. Why not let them tell you what they're going to be instead of experiencing them yourself? And so the more informational interviews you do, the more detours and roadblocks you'll be prepared for.
Right.
And then the third one, which tends to interest people the most, is the networking benefits that come from informational interviews. And I'm going to use you as a personal example here because I heard him on the Super Data Science podcast episode, and I was interested in doing some consulting in the higher ed space. And so I reached out to him and said, hey, John David, would you be willing to do an informational interview with me? And not only did he say yes, he said, in fact, why don't you come on as a podcast guest?
So that is an interesting thought. Would you say that I've done 52 informational interviews? So we have 52 long-form podcast episodes all through 2020.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, you've done a lot of heavy lifting for those interested in entering the data analytics space. And it's free of charge, and you don't have to do anything. So it's nice.
So I do actually, I think I am kind of like living and manifesting the 3 points. So, you know, I've gotten to talk to people like Christina, who works at Facebook, and she works at Google. We have someone who is they haven't disclosed where they work.
Sure.
So I've had multiple big tech people come on the podcast. So I've actually gotten like firsthand like conversations with people who are in that space. Not really where I want to work, but that's like a really interesting thing because that is such a hot buzz term. So I get to like learn from those people.
Yeah, you're watching John David do informational interviews, and hopefully you'll learn something from that as well.
That's true. And then the professional development, I get to like kind of see like where things are headed. Like we just had a conversation like earlier this morning with Jason Krantz about, well, you shouldn't spend a ton of time on technical skills. That is becoming commoditized. So that is kind of having those conversations really help kind of, it's almost like a crystal ball that has been set to 80% opacity. Yeah. So you can kind of see the major roadblocks. You don't have like a clear, well-defined roadmap, but it does kind of give you like that just insight about like where things are headed in the future.
Yeah, and you're going to get a lot of different opinions on big questions about the careers that you're considering. And so that's, again, why you want to do so many.
Right.
And also, just by sheer luck, you might get a great opportunity like the one I found with you.
That's true,
yeah. I'm now doing episodes with you, getting to meet some exciting people in the analytics space, and also provide advice to my students as well.
I would say the third one, the networking, is really where you and I hit it off the most.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm now teaching at High Point University, and you're now co-hosting the Tactical Thursday episodes.
That's right. I'm exploring your space, and you're exploring my space.
So for sure, having these like long-form conversations, you have no idea what you might have in common with that person. It might be that, oh wow, we're both passionate about analytics, and I want to learn about how to teach it, and you want to learn about the consulting, and we can kind of both. It's almost like cross-pollination. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Like seeing kind of how that pans out.
Yep, symbiotic.
That's true. So I think we kind of have talked through the three main benefits. Do you have any closing remarks?
I think you summed it up perfectly, John David.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Tactical Thursday episode, and we'll see you next week.